นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะสาธุ Hello everyone. This is the recorded live from Thailand. Aya Khemawamsi. Today is the Uposatha Day, May 30th. This is the Atthami Puja Day or the Buddha's Cremation Commemorative Day. Why do I have to, record the session here? It's because at this very moment, I will be attending the Atthami Puja Day in the temple nearby. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to talk about the Atthami Puja Day because I'm not sure some of you might have not heard about it or some of you have heard about it. That's fine. But anyway, today, Thursday, May 30th, this is the Atthami Puja Day. You can learn more from the Tipitaka, the long discourse, DN number 16 or Mahaparinibbana Sutra. Talking about the Atthami Puja Day, it's not that, widespread ceremony that all temples have to, have the ceremony or something like that. It's not like that. Like all of the temples in Thailand, we celebrate Visakha Puja Day, Makha Puja Day, Asalaha Puja Day, like the three most important days that we have to, commemorate, have to celebrate or something like that. But Atthami Puja Day, the 8th day after Vesak Day, not so popular. Not all temples, have the ceremony for this special day. But the temple that I will be attending the event, they about like hold a event. It's like the big event in his temple. He said he would like to promote just like the annual ceremony to promote so everyone can come to his temple and like, okay, it's just like promote the importance of Atthami Puja Day. He even have like the like the funeral pie that we can come to create the scene like the Buddhas on the funeral pie or something like that. I attend last year and I will do it again this year because we got invited. Okay. So today there will be no question and answer. And after you listen to this, I think maybe at that time I will be posting the pictures from the Atthami Puja Day so you can see. I will be post on Mahawana Dhamma Sanctuary Facebook page. So you can go and have a look. Okay. Let's start. From the Mahaparinibbana Sutra, after the Buddha's last word, then we're gonna have, like after that, the Buddha reply, right? And then have you ever wonder like how the Buddha became fully extinguished? Did the Buddha just sleep like this and then pass away or fully extinguished, or were there any like special procedure or something like that? So we now can learn. It's according to Venerable Anuruddha, who has renowned for his psychic powers. How can he know the process? In the commentary said that the Venerable Anuruddha follow the Buddha. Like the Buddha, he does just he did not just like sleep and then pass away, but he meditate. He meditate and then reach from the absorption, the jhana, this stage, and then the Venerable Anuruddha follow the Buddha. Oh, so when he follow, he know the process, but he did not follow the Buddha to fully extinguish. Okay, what was the process? According to the Venerable Anuruddha, the Buddha entered the first absorption or the first jhana. Emerging from that, he entered the second absorption. Emerging from that, he successively entered into and emerged from the third absorption, the fourth absorption, the dimension of infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness, dimension of neither perception nor non-perception. Then he entered the cessation of perception and feeling, or as you might have heard, Sanya Vetayita Nirodha. Even on his deathbed, the Buddha retains mastery over his mind. So now we learn that, okay, this is like the stage of the jhana. First jhana, second, third, fourth, this is the rupa jhana, the form. First, second, third, and then fourth. And then fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, this is the arupa jhana, the non-form. After that, reach the dimension of cessation of perception and feeling. There will be no more perception, no more feeling. It's called Sanya Vetayita Nirod. The cessation, Nirodha, Sanya, perception, Vetayita, the feeling. So this is like the stage that only arahantship and the anakhami, the non-returner, can reach. No one else can reach that. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, and then Sanya Vetayita Nirod. Okay. Then the Venerable Ananta said to Venerable Anuruddha, Honorable Anuruddha, has the Buddha become fully extinguished? No, Reverend Ananta. He has entered the cessation of perception and feeling, Sanya Vetayita Nirod. Then the Buddha emerged from the cessation of perception and feeling and entered the dimension of neither perception nor non-perception. Emerging from that, he successively entered into and emerged from the dimension of nothingness, dimension of infinite consciousness, dimension of infinite space, fourth absorption, third, second, and first jhana. So now, from the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, Sanya Vetayita Nirod, and then eighth, seventh, sixth, fifth, fourth, third, second, and first. Emerging from that, he successfully entered into and emerged from the second and third absorption. Come back to third absorption. Then he entered the fourth absorption. Emerging from that, the Buddha immediately became fully extinguished. So now we know the process. First, once again, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, Sanya Vetayita Nirod. Eighth, seventh, sixth, fifth, fourth, third, second, first, and then second, third, and then when he reached the fourth jhana and then fully extinguished. By learning this, like, wow, this is like that as written in the Tipitaka. This is the mastery of the mind. Normally when people master the mind, they can, like, okay, what in Pali language they use the word wasi. Wasi is like expert, master, like you can you can I don't want to use the word control, but you can like, okay, train the mind well enough so you can like, okay, this stage and then that stage and then that stage, and then when we practice, not all, but when you practice like samatha or the tranquility meditation, we have to practice to have wasi or the expert to master the mind in, like the stage up, down, something like that. I have to pause because someone came here, but perception, memory, anicca, transient. Now the memory is gone. So anyway, so when we practice the tranquility meditation, we have to practice, like, okay, train the mind to come to this stage, that stage, up and down, like that. You have to be expert in and out, into the shana stage and out of shana stage, yeah. And then we train to control the time. This is interesting. Train the mind, train ourselves to control the time when we meditate. Like, okay, now I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna sit for, let's say, maybe 1 hour, and then you set the timer, something like that, and test that it's 1 hour or not. But normally when we train the mind, we can set the time like, okay, get up 4 a.m. Then you will like automatically wake up at 4 a.m. Sit for 30 minutes, and then it's gonna be 30 minutes, not 31 minutes, not like that. So it's like something that some people train. We call wasi or expert. I think that's the sound from someone's funeral. Okay. Today, I'm sorry. Today, I can't find the microphone, so use the microphone from the computer. So many, sound around here. Kind of noisy today. Okay. When the Buddha became fully extinguished, along with the full extinguishment, there was a great earthquake, awe inspiring and hair raising, and thunder cracked the sky. Then Anuruddha said to Ananta, "Go, Ananta, into Kusinara and inform the Malas." The Mala is the king, not only one but many kings in the country, maybe called the Mala Kasat, the king Mala. The Buddha has become fully extinguished. Please come at your convenience. And then when the Venerable Anuruddha went to see the Mara, the king, then they all said, not only the king, the queen, prince, and everyone in the palace said like, too soon the blessed one has become fully extinguished. Too soon the Holy One has become fully extinguished. Too soon the eye of the world has vanished. So some people, when they talk about the Buddha, they use the word the eye of the world. So now we will talk about the rites of venerating the Buddha's corpse. You can read in full, in details in the DN19 Mahaparinibbana Sutta, but here I'm gonna, like summarize just some parts. The Mala royalties asked Venerable Ananta for the best practice regarding the Buddha's body. Yeah, this is something that you might wonder. Venerable Ananta suggested wrapping the Buddha's body in a new sheet of cloth and using cotton wools for absorption. then rewrapping with another sheet of cloth until 500 pairs of sheets have been used, and respectfully engaging the body onto the oil-filled metal rail. Then decorating a funeral pyre with sandalwood flowers and perfumery. The four Mala royalties tried to light the fire at the funeral pyre, but could not make the fire start. Despite many attempts, but they could not make the fire. Why? You will learn the answer. So the four royalty, the Mala royalty, asked the cause with verbal Anuruttha. The verbal Anuruttha said, because the deities desire to wait for the verbal Mahakassapa and a group of 500 monks who are on pilgrimage to pay homage to the Buddha to arrive, then the fire will start. Here, there are explanations in the commentary that those deities used to be attendants of those senior disciples before, that the Mahakassapa Thera. Thus, they were not happy if verbal Mahakassapa is not present in the ceremony. Like everyone there, but my teacher, my master, another master, verbal Mahakassapa was not here. So wait, you have to wait for my master, something like that. And when the 500 monks, headed by verbal Mahakassapa, arrived, the fire was starting on its own without being lit by anyone. After the fire burned out Buddha's remains and they became relics. You can read in full details in the Mahaparinirvana Sutta. So we have like the full explanation of like burn what the fire burned, something like that. But eventually the Buddha's body became relics, only relics. The king of Mala brought all the relics to put in a gold chest and took care of it in Kusinara. As for the Lord Buddha's utensils, they were respectfully engaged to be enshrined at various places, such as the set of his robe was to be enshrined at Gandhara kingdom. His arms robe was to be enshrined at Patna, something like that. In the stupa nowadays, in Thailand, in Burma, in many countries, Sri Lanka, India, in the stupa, or in Thai we call JD, right? They all have the relics, and this is very very special. The relics you can, if you, this is something like you have to test for yourself, you have to prove for yourself, and then you learn that something like I don't want to use the word magical, but something like a miracle can happen. You might have heard that someone, when they pray a lot, when they do like the chanting a lot, and then when they chant like the word Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma, the recollection of the Buddha a lot, and then there will be relics, just suddenly appear in the. We have to find the. It's too far to show you. You have to find something that you can keep, like a little thing like this, in the shape of the stupa. And then when you pray a lot, and then one day the relics appear. And the relics can grow in numbers. From one, now two, something like that. So I have it as well. We pray, and then from one, now there are two. How they become two? I don't know. The relics can, yeah. You should prove for yourself. You should not believe me, but you should prove for yourself. When the king of various provinces knew about Lord Buddha's death, they sent their ambassadors to Kusinara to receive the share of the relics for reverence on their own land. but was refused by king of Mala. Like, this is my land and my property, and the Buddha fully extinguished here. So it should be like most of them should be mine or something like that. So when the kings of various countries, various provinces come and ask for their share, but King Mara said no. So it caused the conflicts, and it was about to have a war. But in the end, the situation was settled because of one person, the Tona, the Brahmin, came into action. Tona, the Brahmin, was a mediator of negotiations to end the conflict by proposing to divide the relics into 8 equal parts. Each kingdom had built a stupa to respectfully enshrine Buddha's relics in different cities. Then Tona the Brahmin said to those various groups, "Here, sir, a single word from me. Our Buddha's teaching was acceptance. It would not be good to fight over a share of the Supreme Person relics. Let us make 8 portions, good sirs, rejoicing in unity and harmony. Let there be monuments far and wide, so many folk may gain faith in the clear-eyed one." So the Tona the Brahmin came to, negotiate and then make 8 proportions. You can read, like where the relics went, full in Mahaparinibbana Sutra. But here I would like to, point out what we should learn from the Atthami Puja day. The Dhamma principle related to the Atthami Puja day is that Buddhists should consider the meaning of life and learn that human nature is impermanent. Birth, aging, illness, and death are common to all human beings. No one can escape these. This is the ultimate truth that the Lord Buddha discovered and emphasized. So we should not just like like, okay, this is the Vesak day, is today that the Buddha birth, enlightenment, and death. But after that, you should learn like, oh, this is like what we should pay respect to the Lord Buddha, something like that. And then if you read like in full, you like, oh, some people still cry, some people still mourn, but for the non-returner or the arahantship, they see things as like, yeah, even the Lord Buddha, even the Buddha, birth, sickness, because he was sick before the parinibbana, right? And then eventually the Buddha died, fully extinguished. It's normal for the human being. So now you should reflect, you should contemplate the meaning of life. Now you have this body and mind. How can you make use of this body and mind to the fullest, to the full like capacity, for the full, like give the meaning of life to this body and mind. Like, what should I do? Oh, the Buddha said like you should train the mind. The mind can be trained to good speech, good thought, good actions, wholesome qualities, to cultivate wholesome qualities and then abandon unwholesome qualities. Because why? You're born to have the capacity to do good deeds. Why you should to do bad deeds? Something like that. And also you should be heedful. You should be careful. Not let the time pass by without doing, or to train yourself, because you don't know when you're gonna die, right? Now that you have this body of a human body, so you can experience both good and bad feeling, wholesome and unwholesome qualities. You learn what is good and what is not good, what is bad, right? So now use this body to do good deeds, to train, Don't be heedless. Don't be careless. Don't be, ignorant. And also we can learn the three characteristics that the Buddha taught. Impermanence. Yes, of course, impermanent. Life is impermanent. Impermanent is transient, inconstant, and not permanent. The nature of arising and passing away. It lasts momentarily from time to time, so we should wisely see the decline as it really is. We should see the decline of the Buddha's body. One day, the Buddha is here, another day, just the relics. For us people, one day we hear, next day maybe become an ash, something like that. This serves as a reminder to have mindfulness when experiencing difficulties in life, which help elevate or eradicate the suffering. When we encounter with the loss of our loved ones, then we can know like, oh yeah, it's impermanent, right? Born, birth, sickness, aging, and then eventually everyone can die. You, me, everyone, including the Buddha himself, the enlightened one, the perfected one, he died as well. So yeah, now we should remind ourselves so we can make use of this life wisely. Also, the suffering is the state of painfulness from the condition that is not in its normal state. The condition of being forced to arise and pass away, it cannot last long, right? It's forced, it's being forced to arise and pass away. Even though how hard you try to, like hold on to that state, hold on to that, feeling, happy feeling, but eventually it will be forced to pass away. It's gonna pass you, whether or not you like it or not, right? Because of the composite factors, not being able to force it to remain in its normal state because of craving and attachment, then you suffer. If you try to hold on to something that eventually gonna pass away, then it's suffering, right? If you want something to stay the same, when it's in their nature to pass away, then it's suffering. When you want to attach, cling onto something that it's in their nature to cease, then it's suffering. But if you know the truth, if you know it as they really are, like, okay, this normal, come and go, come and go. If you try to force it, suffering. Yesterday, today is Wednesday, May 29th. On Tuesday, May 28th, I went to see a doctor, like normal schedule every 4 months, see a doctor because I have the arthritis rheumatism, right? Yeah, in Bangkok, right? And yeah, I flew, I traveled there by the airplane. On the way back, like, of course, during this time, rainy season, turbulence, it's normal thing, right? So when the plane on the way back from Bangkok to Chiang Mai and then Chiang Mai to Lampang province, on the way back from Bangkok to Chiang Mai, there was turbulence. And there was one baby on board. And he cried a lot. He said like, I'm scared. I don't want to go down. I'm scared. I don't want to go down because he didn't want the plane to go down. Because when the plane go down, you have to, like pass all the clouds and things like that. And maybe, yeah, it caused the turbulence, right? So he cried a lot and he shouted like, I don't want to go down. I'm scared. I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down. Something like that. And this remind me like, yeah, Sometimes things just, like up and down. It's normal in life, right? When it's up, then oh, it's up. When you down, if you let things be, you will have no suffer from that. But if you up and you want, oh, I don't want to go up, suffering. When life's gonna go down and you say, like, oh, I don't want to go down, I want to be, in the same position, in the same state, suffering. Just like the young boy. He cried, he suffered because he didn't want the plane to go down to land. He didn't want the plane to land, but you cannot be on the plane forever, right? Up and down. It's normal. So if you just like, okay, let it be, turbulence, let it be, whatever happen, just happen. No suffering, not that much suffering. You might afraid, but yeah, you might fear of the turbulence, but yeah, let it be, no suffering. But if you want to like, no, I don't want to land, I don't want to land. It's impossible, right? It's just like when you want to force something that eventually gonna pass away, eventually gonna cease, arise and cease. And if you try to force it, no, no, don't cease. It's impossible, and you will suffer because you want to do the thing that impossible to do. So he said, behind me, so she's like, oh, this is the Dhamma, this is the Dhamma. Wow. If he learned to just let go, control the fear, he would not, cry that much. Maybe, yeah, it's just like, yeah. So sometimes just let it be, let it be. Face whatever happened in your life with mindfulness. What about me? Was I afraid of turbulence? Of course, I was afraid of the turbulence after the news of the Singapore Airlines, that emergency landing in Thailand. I've heard about that. I was afraid as well. But so at that time, what did I do? I chant. I do the chanting. Itipiso Bhagava Arahant Samma Sambuddho Bhagava. Mindfulness, and then just let it be, whatever. But be mindful, and yeah, see, gonna pass. See, gonna pass. Just like when now it's raining, right? When there are storm, oh, this is the storm coming. Okay, the nature of the storm gonna come. Oh, now the storm, the cloud gonna form. Oh, it's gonna come, and then gonna, the storm struck, the rain, the hail, things like that come, but it will pass. Even though the result, even though the bad consequence, like the the house collapse, something like that, but it gonna pass. Good things gonna pass, bad things gonna pass. But if you be mindful and just let things like go naturally, let it be, go with the flow, things like that, and you try, and then you learn that, yeah, it will be less painful, it will be less suffering. One time that I I felt in the past, I felt like it was so like gloomy. I cannot see the light in this situation, right? Have you experienced this? It's just like so dark. I don't know how to get out of this emotion, this feeling. It's just like I was dragged down to the black hole or something. I cannot find a way to get out of that feeling of that situation. And then after that I had to, travel by car. I had to, be the passenger, travel by car. And also like I was so stressful and so sad and in that feeling, in that stage. And that moment, suddenly rain fall. It was raining like cats and dogs. It was heavily raining. I was like, oh, heavily. It just rained so hard that okay, now I have to help my dad focus on the road because he was like 74, 75 years old. And okay, I have to help him first. So I didn't, it didn't plan to, like, okay, now this thought, this feeling come aside. I have to focus on this first. No, it's just like, okay, I have to help. So I focus on the road, and you see like the wind feel like this. Boop, 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 right? And you just have to help my dad see like, oh, oh, there's one car, there one car. Okay, come here. Okay, and I focus what's in front of me, what was in front of me. And after some, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then, or 10 minutes maybe, and then the rain, like not that heavy as it was before. And then after like came out of that zone, it's just like, oh, sunny. And the wind feels just like, okay, no rain here. And at that moment, I was like, wow, yeah, the Dhamma. I see the Dhamma come and go. It won't last forever. It's if we see the nature as it is, feeling, perception, all the five aggregates, if we see in their true nature, you see that transient, not permanent, is non-self, and it's suffering if you try to hold on to that. But if you just like focus, be mindful on whatever you're facing at that moment, be mindful, and you will see that things arise and pass away. You cannot force things to, end this time now, end soon. You cannot force. You just like, okay, whenever, fine. Be mindful. Use the wisdom. What to do in this situation. Okay, now be mindful on the road. Okay, now let's help. I'll help you. Okay, and then eventually you're gonna, you know, it will pass away without you wanting it to pass or not, but it will pass away. So at that moment, all the anxiety, all the bad feelings, the gloomy world, things like that, just not 100% disappear, but less than like 10 or 20. Just like, oh, now I get it. Feeling, not permanent. It will come and it will go. Of course, now the problem arise. There will be the solution to this problem, but you cannot end the suffering. You have to find the cause of the suffering and then end it. And then just, you do what you have to do. Be mindful. Use the wisdom. Mindfulness and wisdom have to come together and let it be. Trust in the process. Trust in the nature of things. The rain is gonna come, right? Okay. Prepare. We have to prepare. We have to, like, okay, what that cannot, stand the water, things like that, that cannot be, outside. You have to come get it here inside, something like that, and then prepare, and then let things be. Mm. And there will be less suffering until there is no suffering. And last one, non-self is a state of not being under any commands or not being owned by anyone. It is in accordance with the law of cause and effect by nature. So in Thailand, the tradition and practice on the Atthami Puja Day are only performed in several temples. For Buddhists who want to practice in remembrance of the grace of the Buddha by giving alms, observing precepts, practicing meditation, and following the teaching of the Buddha continuously to live on without negligence, without delusion. So this is what we should do. And that's it for the Atami Puja Day. I hope you learned something beneficial. And yeah, let's remind ourselves of the transient of life, and then to consider the meaning of life, and then observe the three characteristics in your real life. And just like me, I love to observe things. I love to observe the rain, the tree, the wind. The Buddhas compare the wind with the feeling. Good feeling, bad feeling. Not good, not bad feeling. It's just like the wind from the north, from the east, from the west. Come and then go. If you try to hold on to that, it's impossible to hold on, to cling on to the wind. You just have to let it go. Good feeling, come and go. Okay. Now I experience good feeling. Now I know this is good feeling. Okay. Come and go. Bad feeling. Oh, now I experience bad feeling. Okay. I don't want to cling on to you. So just go. If you not go, okay, fine. You eventually go. Not good, not bad. Equanimity is still transient, even though you reach like many stages of the absorption, the jhana, gonna come and go. So if you really see the nature of things arise and pass away, come and go, you live peacefully with the peaceful mind. Okay, that's it for today. And for the Buddhist insight, for the empty cloud, we'll see you again in 15 days. And next week, I'll do the Dhamma teaching for the Mahavana Dhamma Sanctuary, the place that I stay now. So see you on both platforms soon. Before we part, let's say Sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, 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 Anumodhami, Sadhu. May you all be well and happy and healthy, and may we all reach the Nibbana fully extinguished. Nibbana Paccaya Hotu. Sadhu.